Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge, etc. Jai Hind. Historical events of 5th June. A journey through time of 5th June 2025, Thursday. Today's 5th June highlights in history. 1610. The Masked Deaths Festival is performed at Whitehall Palace to celebrate the investiture of Henry Frederick, Prince of Wales. 1644. The Qing dynasty's Manchu forces, led by the Sunshi Emperor, take Beijing during the collapse of the Ming dynasty. 1794. Haitian Revolution. Battle of Port Republican. British troops captured the capital of Saint-Domingue. 1798. Battle of New Ross. The attempt to spread the United Irish Rebellion into Munster is defeated. 1817. The first Great Lakes steamer, the Frontenac, is launched. 1829. HMS Pickle captures the armed slave ship Volador off the coast of Cuba. 1832. The June Rebellion breaks out in Paris in an attempt to overthrow the monarchy of Louis Philippe. 1837. Houston is incorporated by the Republic of Texas. 1849. Denmark becomes a constitutional monarchy by the signing of a new constitution. 1851. Harriet Beecher Stowe's anti-slavery serial, Uncle Tom's Cabin or Life Among the Lowly, starts a 10-month run in the National Era abolitionist newspaper. 1862. As the Treaty of Saigon is signed, ceding parts of southern Vietnam to France, the guerrilla leader Trong Dinh decides to defy Emperor Tu Duc of Vietnam and fight on against the Europeans. 1864. American Civil War. Battle of Piedmont. Union forces under General David Hunter defeat a Confederate army at Piedmont, Virginia, taking nearly 1,000 prisoners. 1873. Sultan Bargash bin Said of Zanzibar closes the great slave market under the terms of a treaty with Great Britain. 1883. The first regularly scheduled Orient Express departs Paris. 1888. The Rio de la Plata earthquake takes place. 1893. The trial of Lizzie Borden for the murder of her father and stepmother begins in New Bedford, Massachusetts. 1900. Second Boer War. British soldiers take Pretoria. 1915. Denmark amends its constitution to allow women's suffrage. 1916. Louis Brandeis is sworn in as a Justice of the United States Supreme Court. He is the first American Jew to hold such a position. 1916. World War I. The Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire breaks out. 1917. World War I. Conscription begins in the United States as Army Registration Day. 1940. World War II. After a brief lull in the Battle of France, the Germans renew the offensive against the remaining French divisions south of the river Somme in Operation Fall Rot. Case read. 1941. World War II. 4,000 Chongqing residents are asphyxiated in a bomb shelter during the bombing of Chongqing. 1942. World War II. The United States declare war on Bulgaria, Hungary, and Romania. 1944 World War II. More than 1,000 British bombers dropped 5,000 tons of bombs on German gun batteries on the Normandy coast in preparation for D-Day. 1945 The Allied Control Council, the military occupation governing body of Germany, formally takes power. 1946 A fire in the La Salle Hotel in Chicago, Illinois kills 61 people. 1947 Cold War Marshall Plan. In a speech at Harvard University, the United States Secretary of State George Marshall calls for economic aid to war-torn Europe. 1949 Thailand elects Orapan Chaikyan, the first female member of Thailand's parliament. 1956 Elvis Presley introduces his new single Hound Dog on the Milton Berle show, scandalizing the audience with his suggestive hip movements. 1959 The first government of Singapore is sworn in. 1960 The Lake Bodom murders occur in Finland. 1963 The British Secretary of State for War, John Profumo, resigns in a sex scandal known as the Profumo Affair. 1963 Movement of 15 Khordad protests against the arrest of Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini by the Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. In several cities, masses of angry demonstrators are confronted by tanks and paratroopers. 1964 DSV Alvin is commissioned. 1967 The Six-Day War begins. Israel launches surprise strikes against Egyptian airfields in response to the mobilization of Egyptian forces on the Israeli border. 1968 Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy is assassinated by Sirhan Sirhan. 1975 The Suez Canal opens up for the first time since the Six-Day War. 1975 The United Kingdom holds its first countrywide referendum on membership of the European Economic Community (EEC). 1976 The Teton Dam in Idaho, United States collapses. 11 people are killed as a result of flooding. 1981 The Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that 5 people in Los Angeles, California have a rare form of pneumonia seen only in patients with weakened immune systems, in what turns out to be the first recognized cases of AIDS. 1983 More than 100 people are killed when the Russian river cruise ship Alexander Suvorov collides with the girder of the Ulyanovsk railway bridge. The collision caused the freight train to derail, further damaging the vessel, yet the ship remained afloat and was eventually restored and returned to service. 1984 Operation Blue Star. Under orders from India's Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, the Indian Army begins an invasion of the Golden Temple, the holiest site of the Sikh religion. 1989 The Tank Man halts the progress of a column of advancing tanks for over half an hour after the Tiananmen Square protests of 1989. 1991 Space Shuttle Columbia is launched on STS-40, the fifth Space Lab mission. 1993 Portions of the Holbeck Hall Hotel in Scarborough, North Yorkshire, UK fall into the sea following a landslide. 1995 The Bose-Einstein condensate is first created. 1997 The Second Republic of the Congo Civil War begins. 1998 A strike begins at the General Motors parts factory in Flint, Michigan that quickly spreads to 5 other assembly plants. The strikes last 7 weeks. 2000 The Six-Day War in Kisangani begins in Kisangani in the Democratic Republic of the Congo between Ugandan and Rwandan forces. A large part of the city is destroyed. 2001, Tropical Storm Elysian makes landfall on the upper Texas coastline as a strong tropical storm and dumps large amounts of rain over Houston. The storm causes $5.5 billion in damages, making Allison the second costliest tropical storm in US history. 2002, Space Shuttle Endeavour launches on STS-111, carrying the Expedition 5 crew to the International Space Station to replace the Expedition 4 crew. Astronaut Franklin Shang Diaz becomes the second person to have flown on 7 space flights. 2003, a severe heat wave across Pakistan and India reaches its peak at as temperatures exceed 50 degrees Celsius, that is 122 Fahrenheit in the region. 2004, Noël Mamère, mayor of Bègles, celebrates marriage for two men for the first time in France. 2006, Serbia declares independence from the state union of Serbia and Montenegro. 2009, after 65 straight days of civil disobedience, at least 31 people are killed in clashes between security forces and indigenous people near Bagua, Peru. 2009, a fire at a daycare center kills 49 people in Hermosillo, Mexico. 2012, last transit of Venus until the year 2117. 2015, an earthquake with a moment magnitude of 6.0 strikes Ranau, Sabah, Malaysia, killing 18 people including hikers and mountain guides on Mount Kinabalu after mass landslides that occurred during the earthquake. This is the strongest earthquake to strike Malaysia since 1975. 2016, two shootings in Aktobe, Kazakhstan killed 6 people. 2017, Montenegro becomes the 29th member of NATO. 2017, six Arab countries Bahrain, Egypt, Libya, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and the United Arab Emirates cut diplomatic ties with Qatar, accusing it of destabilizing the region. 2022, a constitutional referendum is held in Kazakhstan following violent protests and civil unrest against the government. 2025, the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. Thank you very much for your patience. Please do like, share and subscribe the channel.